Hey, Keto Rock Stars. Rocker Coach Amy here. And it is 84 degrees here in northern Indiana. I'm not feeling the best today. Hopefully I sound clear and clear-headed, but I will be honest with you. There's been a lot of cortisol this week. I really don't feel like walking, but it's very sunny out and the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day. It's a little humid. It feels like we went straight from snow to extremely hot and humid in like a week. However, I feel like I'm kind of used to this because just got back from Vegas where it was 100 degrees out. So no worries. I finally figured out how to use my, what is this called? Selfie stick, so that I can get more in view and be a little further away from the camera. I didn't realize this telescoped. So that's kind of funny. Having some joint pain, so my hand hurts a little bit to hold the handle, but it's all good. All good. So this is being pre-recorded because Thursday night I have to leave work at 4 because I'm going to see the Texas Tenors with my girlfriend Lynette at the Amish Acres. I think it's Amish Acres in Elkhart or Napanee, or I don't know where it's at. So she's picking me up at 4, so I will not be able to take a lunch to do a live stream. So instead, I'm going to do a premiere. I have turned the chat on so we can all chat with each other. Oh, it feels really good out here today. Which way do I want to go? That way or this way? The last time I went that way, so I think this time I'm going to go this way. So cool. Ooh, that breeze feels good on the river. It's a beautiful day out here in Mishawaka, Indiana, my hometown. Got to watch out for duck poop. I think in the last video we saw ducks. So I have a few. Hi.
I thought that was a fishing pole.
No, that's funny. He thought it was a fishing pole. So I have a few topics to talk about today. I'm not going to push it real hard just because I am having joint pain, as I stated. I have a few topics to talk about in relation to that. I believe that my cortisol is really high. River's over this way. I'm doing the Riverwalk today. My cortisol is really high. Why is my cortisol high? And actually, can I prove it? No. Other than just the way that I'm feeling. So as you all know, last weekend, flew to Vegas. Our flight, we got there a couple hours early at the airport, right? This even hurts to hold this right now. It's painful to hold this. It's heavy and it's hurting my hand because of the joint pain. Oh, there's little baby duckies. Hold on, gotta get these. See if we can see them. They're so cute. Look at them. Geese, baby geese, not duckies, geese. They're so fuzzy. Oh my gosh. So cute. Oh, there's more. I don't want to take off the parents here, but there's a ton of them waddling around. They're so cute. There's the parents, so we're not going to make them. Okay. I had to get those. They're so cute. Adorable. Little fuzzballs. So, where was I? I was talking about the flight. So, we get to the South Bend Regional Airport, and our flight lands from wherever it came from, and there's an announcement that there's a delay. So what happened was, I guess there was a part hanging off of the airplane. Oh, I'm gonna lose my cheat sheet here. Don't want that to happen. There was a part hanging off of the airplane, they had to call a mechanic. The mechanic was about an hour and a half away. To me, that means the mechanic had to come from Chicago, right? So they called a mechanic from Chicago. We had to wait an hour and a half for them to drive there. Our flight was supposed to take off at 10:26 local time. So by this point, our flight kept getting delayed. It was delayed until midnight. And then they had to do all like the safety checks and, sign the paperwork. So really, it was like 2 or 3 a.m. by the time we left out of South Bend. When we landed, it was like 2:30 a.m. Vegas time, which was like 5 a.m. our time. So essentially, I'd been up all night. So we got to the hotel, checked in the middle of the morning, slept probably till 9 or 10 a.m. Vegas time, which is what? Like 1 or 2 local time, Indiana time, Eastern. And then we grabbed a bite to eat. Oh, I left my earbuds in. I hope I don't lose those. So we grabbed a bite to eat, got some steak and eggs. It was delicious. But I think that started the whole cortisol thing, was having to stay up all night. So that was the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened, just generally being on the airplane, I noticed inside of my shoes, my feet started to swell. Like we were literally sitting on a plane, 4-hour flight, and I could just feel my feet expanding in my shoes. And I'm like, this isn't good. I just flown to California in February and that didn't happen. So I found that to be interesting. That my feet started swelling even before I ate anything bad, because the only food I ate was food that I cooked at home. There's the river, folks. Isn't it beautiful? Love this walk. So there's that. So that happened. And then, of course, even when you eat restaurant food that is mostly clean, it still can have seasonings in it and whatnot that might have been bad. So every meal we ate was out. I'm going to have to adjust this. All right. So I think just the general eating out every day probably cost some of it too. And I've said this before, it usually takes me about 3 to 4 days before I really start feeling the effects of what I did. And again, as I said before, I had a couple vegetables. I had some cheese. But I think the biggest thing was, what were they frying the meat in? Seed oils. Was any of the food cooked in seed oils? That sort of thing. Then, hey!
Hi.
Well, those are my friends. I didn't recognize them because they all have sunglasses on. That was kind of cool. So dealing with that. And then we got home, right? Jet lag. I think it was Tuesday night. Let's see. We flew home Sunday. Got home at like 9:30 p.m. I think it was Monday night. I was in Grandma's channel, Barbara's Crochet Corner, right? And it's like midnight and I can't go to sleep. Well, it's because it's like 9 o'clock Vegas time. So I still was on Vegas time, right? So I dealt with that. So it took me a couple days to get back into Eastern time, which is weird because we were only in Vegas for a couple days, like 3 days. So then, just recovered for that. And I had Friday off because my loved one, it's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to tell any personal medical advice about them, but it's kind of relevant to this because I've been dealing with high cholesterol myself and doctors and asking a lot of questions, and I'm not satisfied with the answers I've been getting. So my loved one went in Friday to have some stents put in. And I really like his surgeon. I get a good vibe from him. And I asked the surgeon, while my loved one was in, recovery. Can I ask you an honest question, Doc? Something that's really been bothering me, right? And he goes, sure. And I said, I understand if you can't answer this, whatever, but it's just something that's been bugging me. My loved one has been on statins since like 1985 for 30 some years, right? Close to 40 years. So my question is, if they're on a statin, how could they have such severe, blockages? And he goes, well, that's a good question. And he basically proceeded to tell me that half of the patients that he sees that he puts stents in have normal levels of cholesterol, and the other half have high cholesterol. And then he proceeded to tell me that, unfortunately, the statins make the, whatever you want to call it, calcification so hard that they can barely get stents in. So from what I've heard, and this is not medical advice, right? Please consult your doctor before making any personal medical conditions of your own. But I'm just relaying what this heart surgeon told me, heart specialist. He said that it calcifies the plaque so hard they can barely get stents in. And then he said 50% of the people they have don't even require the statins because their cholesterol's been normal. But they still have heart issues. They still have arteriosclerosis of the arteries, the hardening of the arteries, the plaque. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. If you do what your doctor tells you, you're on statins for 35, 40 years. If those things did their job, you wouldn't have this condition. So we had a very meaningful conversation. I appreciated his surgeon's candor. The surgeon's job, he can't prevent that. The only thing he can do is deal with it and put the stents in. His job is to deal with the aftermath. So, a couple other things that he said was, I said, well, we kind of talked about the statins a little bit. I'm like, why are we putting people on these if they're not working? And he goes, well, this mindset is changing about this. And he says there's a new class of drugs out there, and he mentioned Repatha. And I don't know much about, those drugs too, other than he basically said lowering cholesterol doesn't necessarily prevent heart disease. And he said there's other factors, genetics, lipoprotein little a, I mentioned diet. He's like, what about diet and high insulin? And he didn't say anything in regards to that. But after watching the cholesterol code, the thing that shocked me the most about that movie, and sorry if I'm spoiling this, if you haven't seen it, go rent it. You can rent it for $1.99 on Amazon. But the cholesterol code, in there it said type 1 diabetics in like the 20s and 30s, right? They had just come up with injectable insulin, but they didn't have a way to test blood sugar. So all these people were injecting insulin. They had no way to test their blood sugar. And what was happening is they were getting their insulin too high, which was giving them heart disease, and they were all having, calcification of the arteries. So what this tells us is that it's insulin resistance that causes heart disease, hardening of the arteries, the calcification. Oh, the flowers over here look so pretty. So that's what I really learned. That was the big key takeaway from that movie that I thought was just fascinating. I did not know that. I did not know the story about the type 1 diabetics. and developing heart disease because they weren't regulating their insulin. They were injecting insulin and it was too high. Again, if you haven't watched that movie, I recommend you do. This is pretty. I'm going to stop here and show you this. Some flowers. Beautiful little water structures here. You see that? A little wheel. I told you when springtime got here, this place would be so much prettier. Taking a little detour because this is just too pretty. And this park has been here forever. This section of the park. The park where I start at, Central Park, is newer. But I told you, it just becomes more beautiful. And this goes all the way down to the river. Little fountain here. Flowers. All right. Sorry, I get sidetracked with the beautiful scenery. But you can't blame me, right? Citizens Police. Didn't know they had that either. Oh, it looks like the bathrooms are open now too. I think when I was here, was it February, March? And there was no bathrooms. No bathrooms. But I just saw someone go into one of the bathrooms. Oh my gosh. So my joints hurt so bad that holding this selfie stick is challenging. It's okay though. Someone thought it was a fishing pole. So I did on Friday. I took my own food this time. I packed a lunch. I was able to eat, had coffee, drink water, drink electrolytes, so that was helpful. But by Saturday, I woke up with terrible back pain, my elbow, my shoulder, and again, I'm eating clean by now. It could be still effects from the trip. It could be the trip and cortisol elevated. And I'm not walking too fast today. I'm just walking just because, you know, it's a struggle. I feel a little bit, you know, and I don't want to overdo it because I am having joint pain. Okay. Oh, the other thing is my loved one is now on a low carb approach, eliminating seed oils, processed foods. So hopefully that will make the difference. Okay. The other thing is it's like 84 degrees out here and sunny. I'm in the shade right now, but the warmth does feel good on my joints. So I'm like, you know what? After church, I went to the nursing home and it's Sunday. You guys will be watching this on Thursday. It's Sunday. I went to church. I went to the nursing home to visit my mama-in-law, who's going to be 95 next month, and sat with her out in the courtyard in the sun. And I'm like, you know what? The sun just feels really good on those joints. So if you have any joint pain, make sure if it's warmer weather, you're getting outside to sit in the sun and enjoy that warmth on your joints and bones. It really does make a difference. Go for a walk. You don't have to push it too hard. I have not been doing any sit-ups or push-ups. I have not been doing any planks. Right now I'm just trying to get back into it slowly and get whatever inflammation is out of these joints. So not overdoing it. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. Make sure I cover everything I want to talk about it. Because as Barbara says, I'm 50 years old. 50 years old. I forget things, right? Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about might be a little controversial. my doctor, all of my labs are beautiful, right? They're all beautiful. The only thing that would be of concern to my doctor that they are pushing is ding, 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 you guessed it, high LDL. My LDL is like 201. My HDL is like 95. My good cholesterol is really high. And my triglycerides are like 40 something, like really low triglycerides. So even though I have about 20 pounds to lose, I fit the profile of a lean mass hyperresponder. With the ratio being good. I really want to do what I want to do. So I'm not worried about it. My liver function, my kidney function, even my thyroid panels are all back in range. And I attribute this to increasing my fat a little bit, regulating my hormones. Even my hot flashes have gotten better for menopause. And again, I just shared, on my Facebook, a video from Dr. Elizabeth Bright about menopause, the secrets of menopause. I'll try to remember to share that. I'll put a link in the comments of this video, right? So, yeah, have I gained 20 pounds? Yeah, but I'm feeling so much better, except for this week, right? I have a little setback, which, we're all human beings. Some things are gonna set us off. I'm very sensitive to joint pain too. So my doctor, he will not let this cholesterol thing go. So guess what I'm going to do? And again, this is not medical advice. This is just what I'm doing. I think I'm going to let my doctor go. Now, would I like to have a primary care physician so that if something ever does happen, I have someone I can call? Absolutely. But for right now, I'm just going to cancel my appointment in July to recheck my cholesterol. And I think, all my labs are good. I'll just order my own labs in a year using ownyourownlabs.com. And they have very reasonable prices, right? Very reasonable prices. So I'll just order my own labs. And if I have a problem, then I'll start searching for a primary care physician. Again, I'm not advising anybody to do this. This is not medical advice. This is just what I'm doing with my personal life because everything is good to go, right? Everything's good to go. I don't have any problems. So I really don't need, the only thing I'm still suffering with is a little bit of allergies. And I have an allergy doctor and she is not going to check my cholesterol. So I will continue to go see my allergy specialist, right? If something happens, I could go to urgent care and I'm sure they can refer me to somebody if need be. Until I find a doctor that's not gonna make me come in every 6 weeks and get blood tested every 6 weeks and have procedures done. Oh, and don't forget, my CAC score was 33, only in one artery. All arteries are clear, except for my right coronary artery. Has minimal calcification, 33. I have heard that some people reverse their CAC score lowers. So in a year or two, I would be interested in going back and see if it's getting worse or better. Oh my gosh. Oh, hold on. I need to record my outdoor walk. Apparently my Apple Watch texts that I am moving. So there's that. Oh. It's warm out here today. Another reason why I'm not going too fast. I'm almost halfway through the walk. We're almost to Logan Street. So one thing that I need to kind of do, my husband is on one. He's on one prescription. And this is not something you can stop abruptly. And I asked our doctor if we could consider weaning him off. And he said, no, it helps with joint pain. And so my husband has joint pain, so he wouldn't wean him off. And in order to wean him off, we need to get a lower dosage. So we're kind of stuck. The good news is we have a whole cabinet of this medication. So we have a lot of time to find a new doctor to replace this one. So that's the good news. Yeah, it's 84 degrees out. It feels so good. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. It's a little warm. Again, I'm not walking too fast. So it's Sunday, and tonight I'm having my good dear friend, Coach Angela Mullins on, 7 p.m. Eastern. By the time you see this, this will already have been recorded. So if you didn't go watch that interview, please go back and watch the replay. We are talking about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, EDS. And Angela is an expert in this topic because she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I also was hoping Evelyn, our good dear friend Evelyn, could come on tonight and be interviewed, but she wasn't available. However, if Evelyn, if you're listening, you pop into the stream, I will invite you to come on screen. And Coach Angela has prepared a really awesome presentation, which I didn't realize she was going to do. And it is so good. I can't wait to have her on. Coach Angela and I will post a link to her channel in the comments of this. But she and I went through both the KILTS health coaching and the PhD health coaching classes together. So we're both double certified. She's actually triple certified because she went to get on her symptomology certification too. So love having Angela on, and you may have seen her on KILTS last week. She was interviewed on KILTS. Okay, so if you got to this video and you haven't watched that video, go back and you can replay that live stream. So what else is happening today? Tonight, I'm making our favorite meal, which is ribeyes, eggs over medium, and bacon. So I'll probably get some footage of that and throw that in with us too. I'll be grilling outside and frying up some eggs. I already have the bacon made. I meal prepped that yesterday. And then tomorrow, so when you buy the ribeyes, they usually come with the beef ribs. And I always get my ribeyes special at Meijer's around Easter and Christmas because they go on sale. They go on sale, I think they were $9.99 or $10.99 a pound this year. I can't remember exactly what the price was. But normally they're like $15 or $17.99 a pound, which I can't afford that. So I go when they're on sale at the holidays and I buy like $200, $300 worth, and I cut them up myself, and they usually last us until the next holiday. Oh my gosh. It's pretty out, but I'm starting to get warm. People are staring at with me with my camera. It's okay. It's all good. Okay, now I'm starting to get in a hot area where the sun just beats down. There is a breeze though. I'll get up here and I'll turn around and show you the river from top the bridge. Let me get a little further down. You can probably see it this way. Such a pretty day. All right, let me do this. Here's the river from the bridge. Something's happening because there goes the fire department. All right. So tomorrow, as I was saying, we're having beef ribs. Excited about those. So delicious. I think my phone's getting hot because the screen is black, so I can barely see myself. I still need to get you guys out to Notre Dame and do a walk there, but it's a little further than this. Is only like a mile from my house. So it's just easier to drive to the Riverwalk than drive out to Notre Dame. Plus, they charge for parking out there and everything else. So, but one day I will do that. I'll take you out to Notre Dame and take you on a tour because that is a really cool place. It's only about 15 minutes from my house, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Oh. So this, I think last time it's about 3 miles all the way around the river. I'm halfway through. So I have to walk another mile and a half. Airplane. Oh, helicopter. The medevac is going, which is funny. I got my, oh, you can't see, I got my Air Methods shirt on. Both my brother-in-law and my nephew are medevac pilots in the St. Louis and Vegas area. So when you're related to air medics, pilots, you take notice of that, right? Oh my gosh, I'm really walking slow. Whew. My feet are starting to feel numb, which means they're swelling. I've had surgery on my right foot from ball of foot pain, and actually this very Riverwalk. I was walking at like 6 in the morning one day. Whew, and my foot started hurting so bad that I had to stop. But the problem was I was like halfway through the 3-mile walk, right? And my car was not parked on the other side where I normally park. And there was nobody to call because it was early in the morning. And so I had to hobble a mile and a half back to my car. And then I went and saw a surgeon. And of course, what did he want to do on me? Surgery. So it was ball of foot pain. So he ended up fixing my bunion and also shortening my toe, my middle toe. And that was the worst surgery I've ever had out of the 7 surgeries. It was awful. And my foot to this day still swells. So just, if you're considering having foot surgery, just know you will probably always have problems with that foot. And what really ended up helping me was my diet and getting orthopedic inserts. This is starting to swivel again. Oh yes, we're in shade now. Feels so much better in the shade. We're coming up upon my favorite part though. So I may have to show you some more pictures. I know you've already seen it, but when you saw it, it was really dreary. And there was snow. So it's much prettier out here with green. Yeah, the snow had just melted. I think I was pretty cold last time I went walking. Hi, Mr. Squirrels. There's some squirrels over here. You'll see them here in a minute. Going over a bridge, a walking, riding bridge. Oh my gosh, I feel so slow. But at least I'm getting out here, even though I don't feel like it, and getting the movement in, right? I'm gonna stop up here and show you guys the river. So pretty. I got through my entire list. I knew I didn't have like 45 minutes worth of material. Oh, there's some more baby duckies up here. So cute. Hold on. I'll have to take a peek at them. They're all fuzzy. Lots of people out walking today. Well, the fuzzy ducklings are running away, so I may not get them. Sometimes they could be mean, especially if they're with their babies or if they're hungry. Let me see if I can turn this around. You see them? I think I just stepped in duck poop. Hey, babies. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt anybody. Aren't they cute? Just little babies. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. They want food. That's why they're sticking their tongues out. So cute. Although I hope I didn't just step in duck poop filming and not paying attention. That would suck. Oh well. I'm not gonna look. I won't look till I get back to the car. You gotta watch out for landmines over here. Okay, so this is my favorite part. I think I'm gonna come down here and just show you the river from here. Oh, there's another spot where the dam is. That's my other favorite spot. See if I can fix my camera again. So that was the bridge we were just on. It's just so quiet and peaceful down here. I'll try not to step in duck poop again. And we just were on the other side of this river. So pretty, quiet. People go down here to fish and read books. You know, the geese. So pretty. There's a nice breeze down here too, honestly. It makes it more tolerable to go on a walk. We're on the home stretch. Got a little ways to go. They're barking at me. They're probably hungry. People feed them. Oh, my camera keeps swiveling. People down here fishing. Oh my gosh. Kind of want to pick up the pace to be done with it. People picnicking over here. So peaceful. Getting ready to go over another walking bridge. I may turn the camera around here soon and maybe just pop some music on here for some of the walk. So let's do this.
Boots on the boardwalk, morning on my sleeve. Mr. Coffee on the corner, smiling at the breeze. The river's moving easy, like it slept real well. I came to shake off heavy, leave that dark spell. Turn my face up, let it land. Sunshine day, right in my hands. No more doom and gloom, no more doom and gloom. books on the railing, side-eyeing the bread. Kids with sticky fingers laughing.
Wish I could take all of you guys on the walk.
A dog in a red bandana
Such a pretty place.
spins in circles twice. Everybody's moving lighter, like they got new eyes. Turn my face up, let it land. Sunshine.
This is the other side where we saw those water fountains and the wagon wheel and the pools. We're on the direct opposite other side of the river now. So I thought I would show you that. Okay, so I had to be quite honest. Well, luckily the sun went down. I was feeling a little overheated and my feet are starting to swell. I did not bring any water because then usually I have to go to the bathroom. But we're getting ready to walk under the bridge, so I'm almost home. Probably have less than a half a mile to go, hopefully. But I'll make it. I don't know why my feet have been swelling. I think it's the warmer weather, honestly. Colder weather, my feet didn't swell. And also just having some inflammation and joint pain doesn't help either. This walk has been a little harder than I anticipated. I don't know why I walked around in 100-degree weather in Vegas. Okay. Probably because I just haven't felt my best the last couple of days. I'm going to chalk it up to that. Almost there, walking under the Main Street Bridge right now. I can do it. I thought about stopping and sitting down. I'm like, no, that just prolongs the inevitable. Let's just keep going. I got a little bit of an uphill here. We can do this. Let's go. Right? All right, entering under the bridge, to the bridge and up a little bit of a steep hill. I'm not out of breath or anything. I just feel overheated. I think I'm going to shut the camera back off until we get to the dam. Here's my other favorite part. Hopefully you can see that. My screen is dark. The dam. Isn't that pretty? Gotta love it. So pretty. All right, guys. I'm almost done. I am walking on the last bridge to get to where my vehicle is. Not sure if you can see that. My screen is dark, so I can't really tell what I'm filming. It's such a beautiful sight out here on the St. Joseph River, Mishawaka, Indiana. My hometown, born and raised. Okay. All right, guys, my car is just right over here. Probably going to add some more footage, like I said, of my dinner, which will be ribeyes, bacon, and eggs. So stay tuned, everybody. Talk to you soon. Hey, guys, Rockin' Coach Amy here, back at the house. It's a few hours later than when I last saw you. Oh, I got to show off my new shirt. It says, "You're making me so happy." I have it on backwards because I wanted to show it to you, but I got this in Vegas at Bacon Nation, which was the breakfast joint in our hotel. So what's for dinner tonight? I am having ribeyes that I sliced up myself, and I got whole ribeyes on sale at Myers on Easter, and then some bacon that's already pre-cooked, and we're gonna have some eggs. So let's get to it. This is my favorite meal. I'm walking you through my favorite meal. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, time to heat up the grill, right? Let's take this cover off. Such a beautiful day out. It's warm. And I have to say, on that walk I did earlier, I was overheating just a little bit. Ooh, the wind is coming out. I was overheating just a little bit. So it wasn't my greatest walk. So if it seemed like I was struggling a little bit at the end, probably next time I need to take some water with electrolytes. But I feel so much better now, and we're gonna grill some food. Time to fire up that grill. Let's go. All systems go. Here we go, guys. How I prep my steaks. Take them out of this bag. Set them on a plate. And then I season them with both Redmond's regular real salt and then my favorite, Redmond's organic seasoned salt. I don't use pepper anymore. And I do both sides. And they're ready to go out on the grill. I got the grill preheated, and it's time to put these beautiful ribeyes on some heat. Now, I will say some people eat their meat raw. I'm still not on the raw camp, but I have been trying to eat them more rare and more rare than I used to. So, but I do like a good sear on each side. So that's what we're gonna shoot for. All right, we're gonna open the lid here. That grill's getting nice and hot. Gonna just stick these right on that grill. Yum, sizzle. Meanwhile, while those steaks are cooking, we're gonna take some bacon grease. This is my favorite cooking. Well, we're gonna heat that up in a pan. Yummy. Time to flip them. I did put this one up top because it is a little thinner and I don't want to overcook it. So we're literally just flipping the steaks over. Don't those look delicious? Yummy. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, meanwhile, in the kitchen, we're gonna fry up some eggs over medium. Yummy. Okay, it's time to get these steaks off of the grill and onto the plate. Delicious. Yummy. Look at those delicious ribeyes. Meanwhile, plate up some bacon that's already pre-cooked on a plate. And we're just gonna put this in the microwave for about 20 to 30 seconds. Okie dokie, we're gonna stick each steak on its respective plate. We're gonna also add our eggs. Some butter. Yummy, so delicious. Oh, I gotta open another stick of butter. That's what the holdup is. Put some butter on the eggs, salt on the eggs, and voila, bacon. Oh, I might need more bacon. Voila, Amy's favorite ribeye bacon and egg special. Delicious. What do you think, all? All right, y'all, post in the comments if you guys would eat the Amy Davis ribeye special. My favorite meal. Yummy. Talk to you later. To rock stars, it's Rockin' Coach Amy again. Thanks for continuing to stay tuned. So remember how I had those ribeyes yesterday? And that's my favorite meal. Well, when you buy the ribeyes whole, it comes with the beef ribs that you can cut off and save for a second meal. How exciting is that? So today, I'm going to show you another one of my favorite meals, which is braised beef short ribs. So let's get started. The very first thing that I do is I start preheating the oven at 350 degrees. Take the beef short ribs out of the freezer paper that I put them in when I detached them from the ribeyes. Then on both sides, we're going to take, again, the Redmond's Real Salt and my favorite Redmond's Organic Seasoned Salt. And we're just going to generously salt the outside. And we're going to place the ribs into a baking dish. Pour 2 cups of water in. Then cover with some aluminum foil. Once the oven is preheated, let's go ahead and pop those in the oven for about 3.5 hours. Voila, see you soon. Hey guys, Rockin' Coach Amy here, and we're back out at the grill because these ribs are about done and we're just gonna finish them off on the grill. So again, I'm gonna preheat this baby, fire it up. Maybe. And let's go take a look at those ribs. Time to get these ribs out of the oven. I can't wait to check these out. Okay, let's take off this foil and check these out. Delicious! And you could save that juice and broth. Ooh, let's flip these over. Yummy. We're gonna finish them off on the grill. These are fall apart. I can tell you that right now. Delicious. Can't wait to get these on the grill. We're gonna finish these off on the grill real quick. About 5 to 10 minutes per side. These are almost full off the bone right here. Delicious. See those sizzle? Yummy. Delicious. Yummy. Okay, time to flip these over. Man, did they look delicious. All apart. Let's get this bad boy over here. Check that out. And they're sizzling. There's so much juicy fat on those. I can't wait to eat them. Rockin' Coach Amy here back at the grill. Time to get these off. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, so delicious. Time to get these off this hot grill. All right, first of all, let's turn the grill off. And we're just gonna slide these bad boys. Ugh, hopefully they're not sticking. A little bit, it's all right. Just grab that right off of there. There we go, guys. Let's get these in the house and eat them. So ready to try a bite of these. They are fork tender. Let's try a bite of these ribs. Smell delicious. Melt in your mouth. I love pork ribs, but there's just something about beef ribs that takes it to a whole nother level. I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and I want to make a special thank you to the channel members and the super chatters, and especially Wendy, Feral Grandma. At the very end of my last live stream, she donated like 5 memberships. So thank you, Wendy. You all mean very much to me. It is not required to make donations or become members of my channel. I will always provide a bunch of free content, but it really does help with the technology costs. There's a lot of, when I do food, live cooking streams, it helps purchase the food, that sort of thing. So I really want to thank everybody who supports this channel in one way or the other, even if you're just tuning in to watch, right? So thank you all for tuning in, and this is Rockin' Coach Amy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.